Have you ever looked at a huge, successful company and wondered how it could possibly fail? Well, it often doesn't happen with some big dramatic explosion. Instead, it's more like a slow, silent drift into irrelevance. Today, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about a hidden threat that can sneak up on even the most successful companies out there: strategic drift. So, what exactly is strategic drift? Well, think of it this way. It's when a company's winning formula slowly, almost invisibly, becomes its losing one. Picture a giant ship. The captain is so confident in their original course that they don't even notice the currents have changed, quietly pushing them right towards the rocks. This isn't about one single bad decision. Oh no, it's a slow, creeping failure to adapt. And the irony is, it's usually born from the very success that made the company great in the first place. And this whole idea leads to a really wild question. Can a company actually be making tons of money, looking amazing on paper, while at the same time it's, well, dying? The answer is a huge, resounding yes. And to really understand how that's even possible, we're going to dig into the story of a publishing company we'll call Merceh Co. All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We're going to treat it like a medical case, right? First, we'll meet our patient, Merceh Co, and see how this drift started. Then we'll diagnose the symptoms that are hiding just underneath those shiny profit reports. After that, we'll look at the prognosis. What's the grim future it's facing if nothing changes? But hey, don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. We'll also lay out a path to transformation before we wrap up with the big lessons that any of us can learn from this. Okay, so let's meet Merceh Co. On the surface, this company looks like a total rock star. It's a giant in the publishing world, with a long history of famous, successful magazines. But as we're about to find out, even the biggest, strongest ships can get pushed off course by currents you can't even see. And Merceh's is heading straight for trouble. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This is where we pop the hood and see what's really going on. So let's put on our business strategist hats for a minute and diagnose the 4 key symptoms that show what's truly happening inside Merceh Co. First off, just look at this number, 27%. That's Merceh's operating profit margin. I mean, by any measure, that is fantastic. It screams success, stability, financial health. It's the kind of number that makes executives pop champagne corks. But, and this is a huge but, that incredible number is what we call a lagging indicator. It's like looking in the rearview mirror of your car. It only tells you where you've been, not where you're going. That financial strength isn't a sign of a healthy future. It's more like an anesthetic, completely numbing the company to the very serious disease that's spreading just below the surface. Symptom number 1. A really dangerous addiction to the past. A massive part of Merceh's revenue, we're talking $640 million, comes from old-school print magazines. Now sure, it's profitable right now, but their entire business model is basically built on a melting iceberg. The company is completely ignoring the fact that industry-wide, print is on a long, slow decline. They're just doubling down on a format that's running out of time. Okay, on to the second symptom, inertia. To put it simply, Merceh is stuck. The whole company is built around paper, printing presses, and trucks. And get this, even their digital strategy is stuck in the mud. They've been using the exact same publishing software for years and have made no real effort to upgrade their core tech. This isn't just being a little old-fashioned, it's being slow and inefficient, and it makes it totally impossible to keep up with the new, nimble, digital-first competitors. And that leads us perfectly to symptom number 3, the digital disconnect. See, for Merceh, the word digital just means scanning the print magazine and putting it online as a PDF. That's it. Their so-called digital magazines are just flat copies. There are no videos, no podcasts, no interactive stuff that audiences actually want now. They see digital as this little add-on, this chore they have to do, not as the massive fundamental shift in the world that it actually is. And finally, we get to what might be the biggest problem of all: cultural resistance. The source material talks about homogeneous thinking on the board. You've got a room full of people who all think the same way, who all built their careers in the glory days of print. This creates a powerful print-first culture, an echo chamber where everyone just pats each other on the back. It's like the company's own immune system is attacking the cure. Any new idea is treated like a virus. So we've got our diagnosis, 4 really clear symptoms of a company that has lost its way. Now we have to ask the tough question. What's the prognosis? What happens if Merceh's leaders just keep their hands off the wheel and let the ship keep drifting? The source material could not be more blunt about this.
It's not about making a few little tweaks here and there. The choice that Merceh is facing is this: transformational change or death. This is that critical phase of strategic drift, where the problem is no longer ignorable, and that little window of opportunity to turn things around, it's starting to close, fast.
And you can pretty much predict how this downward spiral plays out. First, those quicker, more modern competitors are going to keep eating their lunch, stealing more and more customers. Then, as the print revenues start to dry up, those amazing profit margins we talked about, they'll start to shrink. Then the best employees, especially the ones with digital skills, are going to see the writing on the wall and jump ship. And the final step in that spiral, total collapse. I mean, just think about it for a second. Blockbuster completely owned the movie rental market. Kodak literally invented the digital camera. Both of them were insanely profitable giants that just failed to see the world was changing right under their feet. They drifted. This isn't just some business school theory. It's a very real, very well-trodden path to extinction. And that question on the slide is a really chilling one. Is Merced next on that list? Okay, that is a pretty grim picture, I know. But there is a way out of this. This is not a terminal diagnosis, at least not yet. So let's make a hard pivot here. Let's talk about the solution. What's the prescription for curing Merced's strategic drift?
The very first step is all in the mindset. Merchant has to stop thinking about incremental change, making tiny adjustments to the old way of doing things. That is the problem. What it needs is transformational change, a complete, fundamental reinvention of what the company even is. It's about shifting from just putting print online to creating a true digital-first strategy, and from clinging to old revenue sources to building completely new ones from the ground up.
So what does that actually look like? Well, the roadmap to get back on course is built on 4 pillars. First, digital. They have to finally drag their platform into the modern era and start making the interactive content people actually want. Second, revenue. They have to look beyond just ads and subscriptions. That means using all the data they have on subscribers to sell products directly to them, or maybe launching e-commerce sites connected to their magazines. Third, culture. That old-school annual strategy meeting has got to go. They need fast, agile reviews every quarter, and they need to bring in fresh blood with new ideas. And finally, operations. While they're making this big change, they have to get smarter about their printing costs to protect their bottom line. And what's really important here is that this isn't just us making stuff up. The source material lays out a super clear, actionable roadmap for how to do this. The solutions are all there, just waiting for someone to pick them up and run with them. The real challenge for a company like Merceh isn't that they don't have a map, it's finding the courage to actually follow it.
All right, let's zoom out for a second, because the story of Merceh Co, it's really a cautionary tale for any successful company. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. So what are the big, universal lessons we can all learn from this drifting giant?
Here are the big ones. First, and this is probably the most important, today's success makes you complacent. The very thing that made you strong can blind you to what's coming next. Second, your strategy is useless if your culture fights it. If your people are stuck in the past, even the best plan on earth is going to fail. Third, if you wait until there's a crisis, it's already too late. That wait-and-see approach, it's really a wait-and-fail approach. And finally, the only antidote to this drift is to be constantly vigilant. You have to have regular, brutally honest conversations about whether your strategy still makes sense for the world as it is today. When you boil it all down, the story of Merceh isn't really about the publishing industry. It's about the universal fight to stay relevant. Strategic drift is this powerful, silent force. It happens slowly, quietly, hidden by great quarterly reports and a proud history. And it can happen to any company, in any industry, that takes its eye off the horizon for just a little too long. And so, that leaves all of us with one last, really important question to ask ourselves about our teams, about our own companies. Are we actively steering our ship toward the future? Or are we just kind of relaxing on the deck, enjoying the calm weather, completely unaware that the currents have shifted, and that our ship is slowly, silently drifting off course?